All right, so new video. We're gonna talk about a little topic that I actually gave some thought to today, and it relates to something similar I brought up on my channel before, where I was talking about opposites and reciprocals when it comes to emotions and feelings, right? You know, as hard as you love somebody, it's as hard as you will hurt for them in the end. You know, as happy as someone makes you, as mad as they can make you, as beautiful as things can get, is as ugly as they can get, stuff like that. And I realized it just goes even further, you know. And sorry about that. Not trying to be on some poetic shit here, but I wrote something today as I was thinking about, you know, as I was really looking at what I was thinking about today, and just kind of like a little reference right here. So it says, you know what you definitely want, or you definitely know what you don't want. Now the funny thing is that they both correspond. So if you know one thing that you really want, then take the opposite of that thing that you really want, swap it over. You know the thing that you really don't want, right? Or you take the thing that you really don't want, swap it over, then you know what you really want, right? Because it's the opposite. I realized, and this actually, I figured this out yesterday when I was watching Teal Swan and her What is Healing video. Really good video, only 10 minutes. It's really short compared to what most of her videos are. And I've watched her for a long time, and she was talking about the concept of healing, and she said, just and my biggest takeaway from that video was when she said, in order to heal a wound, right? In order to heal some damage, well, in order to heal at all, right? Healing is to experience the opposite of the trauma, right? So if you experienced a lot of neglect, right? In order to heal, you have to experience the opposite of neglect, which would be attention. If you have a trauma with betrayal, right? Being betrayed and lied to, okay? That will play over into, right? So you have that trauma of betrayal. In order for you to heal whatever experiences happen with betrayal, you must allow yourself to experience the opposite of betrayal, and that's loyalty, right? That's how that works. You got to experience the opposite end of the spectrum, right? So wherever you're at and you know what you don't want happening to you, take the opposite of that thing and then make your way to that. Take the opposite of the thing you don't want, and whatever the thing is that you don't want, the opposite of that thing you don't want is the thing that you do want, right? The reciprocal. You flip that script, right? So when she said that, I realized, holy hell. So in order for us, so when we're healing, right, it's what we want. So whatever you want, or whatever you're trying to heal, right, you have to experience the opposite. That's just that, right? The opposite of fear is courage, right? The opposite of being afraid is being brave, right? The opposite of anger is calmness. Opposite of abandonment, right? Someone leaving, the opposite is them staying, right? So basically, you have to experience that end of the spectrum. So if you were somebody who had a lot of betrayal, you're gonna need somebody who can show you loyalty for you to heal, right? And if you've watched another one of Teal's videos, How to Heal the Emotional Body, I'm gonna kind of add something a little interesting. There's basically this thing where you watch the whole thing, and it's basically, you know, you want to try and get back to the first time you experienced a certain emotion, and you'll basically have an experience. And if you are to get a visual experience of what happened, right, a visual memory, what happens is that she actually recommends you go in, and for that child, that childhood trauma, that person who was affected, it's your turn to go in and provide them an experience to alter it. And now that I think about it, got a light bulb. If that child experienced abandonment, give him a feeling of what it feels like for someone to stay. Be someone who is staying for him when somebody left, right? If you were somebody who experienced oh gosh. If you were somebody who experienced sadness, when you go into that memory, get the child to be happy. And you know the kid, you know exactly what's gonna make him happy, right? If the child experienced betrayal, offer him some fucking loyalty, right? Whatever he doesn't want, or or whatever experience is the one that has left you on that damaged spectrum, you basically gotta bring that opposite spectrum in. You gotta bring the reciprocal in and allow them to experience the other side, right? Now, what I realize is too, so that was kind of that first point I wanted to make, but I also want to add a little bonus something, right? When you feel betrayal, or if you have a natural fear of being betrayed, you have a natural fear of being left, you have a natural fear of being neglected, you have a natural fear of, I don't know, whatever it is, whatever trauma has you, right? You have a natural fear of being open to people because you have a fear of intimacy or whatnot. Whatever those things are, whatever's going on there, it is up to you. It is okay to experience certain emotions, right? So if you happen to experience betrayal, you happen to experience fear, you happen to experience abandonment, you happen to experience these traumas, you happen to experience the emotions associated with that trauma, good. I'm gonna tell you why that's good. Because you know how to identify that experience. You know how to identify abandonment. You know what abandonment feels like. You know how to identify that. You know what betrayal feels like. You know how to identify that, right? And whenever that emotion actually comes up, and whenever that experience is legitimately actually coming up, and you legitimately experience betrayal, the goal is not to stop feeling betrayed, but it's to understand what made you feel betrayed, right? The job isn't to say, oh, I feel betrayed, I feel angry, instantly move to happiness. No. This is why I'm against it, because an emotion is nothing more than a signal. It is a biochemical signal in your body. Therefore, something happened and you responded. You responded to something. Those feelings of betrayal, the emotions associated with what it feels like to be betrayed, they got triggered. Something happened. Now, it wasn't them who made that happen. They just did an event. Something took place, and your response to it is betrayal. Well, no, your response to it is you're taking it as betrayal because of the emotions that are coming up with it that you take as betrayal, that you associate with betrayal. And when that happens and you respond, you are able to actually catch it, right? If someone betrays you and you have the ability to identify that, you know. People can't bullshit you. You know what betrayal feels like. You know what it is. They can't lie their way on that. Abandonment. Oh, I never left. No, motherfucker, I know what you did. You left me, right? Neglect. You didn't give me what I needed. Sorry again, right? You know how, when those signals come up for you and those emotions, the goal shouldn't be to get away from those feelings. The goal should be like, hey, why am I feeling this? I think audio is getting bad because the wind's hitting, but the first thing should be, what event made me feel this way? What happened that made me feel like this? right? You know what you're feeling. Then you got to know why you're feeling what you're feeling. And then determine if that's actually legit. And, you know, I'll tell you something. When you experience something like that again, and you have every legit reason on it, you're able to experience that emotion, right? Heartbreak, betrayal, fear, all that shit, right? You know exactly what's the word, really kind of what fucked you over, right? And check something real quick. 25, right? Only 10 minutes. That is a fucking record for me. You know what you're feeling. You identify what you're feeling. You figure out why you're feeling what you're feeling. And then you can move to the opposite end of the spectrum. Then you can move from betrayal to find an experience for loyalty. And loyalty doesn't begin with someone else. Loyalty begins with yourself. How can you be loyal to yourself, right? Abandonment. You experience the feelings associated with abandonment, and then you realize what made you feel abandoned, and then you can move yourself to someone staying, whether that is a legitimate person or whether that is yourself, to provide yourself with a true staying comfort, because you never left you let you down until you actually decide to do that. Right? So that's really that. Whenever the emotion comes up, that's why I tell you not to ignore this shit. That is a signal. That is a flag. That is something you need to pay attention to. You need to know why. And then from that point on, you need to determine where you want to go from it. Right? If someone genuinely fucking actually betrayed you, or someone genuinely actually neglected you and made you feel like nothing, or lacked to put you as a priority when you're in a position of priority in their life and stuff like that, or lack of respect, right? You feel like people don't have no respect for you and shit like that, being taken advantage of, stuff like that. You know these experiences, and you know the emotions associated with it. And when the emotions come up, like I said, bam, you can identify it. You know exactly what's going on because you're responding to the situation. Then you got to know why you're feeling like that, and then you got to be honest about it and decide what you want to do from there. You won't feel a certain way for no reason. You will never feel betrayed for no reason. You will never feel abandonment for no reason. You will never feel disrespected for no reason. You will never feel like you're being made fun of for no reason. You will never feel mad just for no reason. In someone else's eyes, it may be over nothing, but in your eyes, it was enough to make you break a fucking chair. Right? And the important thing is that when you understand that, their perspective, their triggers, right? I got tons of triggers when it comes to betrayal. I got tons of them. They happen so much. And you know what? A lot of them are perpetuated by fear. There's a big fear driving it. So what do I do to heal that? I accept betrayal as it is. I accept the experience is real. I accept the experience is going to happen to me. I accept that if it is going to happen, I will be thankful for it. And I know that when betrayal comes, I'll know what truly is betrayal. I'll know what that shit is when it comes. And when it does come, I'll decide what I want to do from there. And fuck, I just had it too. I just lost it. Betrayal comes. Yeah, okay. So when that negative experience shows up, and I lost it again. Holy hell. Ah! What was I saying? I said, how much time? Okay, now we're not at such a good record. Right, okay. So accept betrayal as it is, right? You accept betrayal, you take it in, you understand it. When it happens, you accept it. It's a fact. When it goes down, it goes down. It is a true experience. It is real. It is legit when it happens. And when it happens, I'm going to understand that and I'm going to accept it as it is. Betrayal is betrayal. And when I understand betrayal, I understand why, and I choose to go to the other side of the spectrum, I will accept betrayal as much as I'm going to accept loyalty. And I will take in that truth the way I'm going to take in loyalty as my truth. That's really it. When those experiences happen to you, and you gotta understand it's real. It's happening to you. These triggers are going on. All these things that are making me feel betrayal, sometimes more often than needed, right? All these things that make me start to get fear, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting betrayed. Oh my gosh, something's going on, right? That shit starts to kick in on me. It's just a part of me. Betrayal is something that I fear. It's something that I get terrified of, and I know the feelings that come with being betrayed, and it hurts. And there's a lot of fear fighting against that. I have to accept that betrayal is a real thing, and if it happens, it happens. And if I am scared for some reason, that's fine. Because as much betrayal as there is at possibility is as much loyalty as there is at possibility. So I'm not worried. As much as it drives me in fear, as much emotion as it drives me into, I allow that shit to happen. Because betrayal is real. The emotions that I'm experiencing are real. It's just as real as it is the loyalty. Right? Just as real. So, take that in. Whenever you're experiencing that, whenever you have those negative experiences, right? Oh, I constantly fear being left behind. I constantly fear getting disrespected. Yeah, I have a fear of being judged. Shit like that. When that's happening, you say, great. Find the opposite of it. Like I said, take the whole method I just told you and then choose to move to the other side. But accept it as it is. Don't just rush to the other side. Experience what it feels like to be judged. Know why you're feeling like you're being judged. Understand why you feel like you're being judged. And then choose to move to the other side with it. Don't judge yourself, right? So, that's as much as I can really capitalize on in this time. Video's about to be over in a couple seconds. So, that's gonna be a video today. I hope you guys take away something from it. If you know what you want, take the opposite, and you know what you don't want. If you know what you don't want, take the opposite, and then you know what you want. Bless up. I'll talk to y'all next time.